Alright, so today I want to talk about artillery plant. I'm trying to get a close-up on this. I don't have the best quality camera. But if you're a gardener, I'm pretty sure you've seen this. And you can see the little peak in between the leaves here. These right here. They are the tiniest ever flowers. Now, this is considered a weed, and I sort of wanted... I've let these... deliberately I've let these grow. I'll tell you why. Number one, it's a beautiful ground cover, and it looks really good against these man caves. But I'm going to show you an example of other weeds I've been getting. I've been getting this. I've been getting nutsedge, and having that artillery plant in there kind of chokes out the ability of those other things to root in here. And yeah, that's something we've been fighting with the heat here to keep the weeds under control. But you know, besides that, I just sort of wanted to say, you know, it's a common saying that a weed is just a misplaced plant. Well, I started Googling around because that's what we do, and I was sort of interested in what this weed was, what this plant was, and the history of it and so forth. Well, it comes from, well, I don't know for sure where it comes from. They say it's not native to Brazil either, but they've done studies on it. They make teas out of it. They use it for bandages. Supposed to be good for different tumors, anti-tumor capacity. And before you would eat anything, I would recommend that you do your own research and make sure, you know, do a small quantity. I haven't eaten this. I haven't tried a tea, but I might. But and every plant has its purpose. So, you know, to keep that in mind too. I mean, it is a weed, and at first I was just pulling it out with everything else, and I thought, oh, this is kind of nice. And then I even seen some YouTube channels where they were deliberately growing this as a hanging basket, and people were keeping them inside. This is probably the max on the height that they get. They don't get very much higher than this. So yes, they are quite beautiful, and I like the way they look with the succulents because it lets their leaves and colors still show. Over here I've got a moon glow, and look at how beautiful that looks against the leaves there. So, I mean, it's just a consideration too if you're having a hard time keeping other weeds out of your plants, finding a ground cover or a weed that would, you know, complement the plants that you're growing. Over here you can see that one plant's got a lot of grass in it, whereas the ones with the artillery hardly has any in it. And so I keep pulling the other weeds and letting the artillery take over. Yeah, and you can actually buy the seeds and grow these deliberately if you want to. They are perennial in zones 10 and 11, which we're in 9B here, so my guess is they probably won't overwinter, but my guess is they're not going anywhere. They're going to come back once you have them. They sort of you know, they've always been a potted plant. I've seen them up north. I've seen them all my life. You know, it just seems to be a weed that comes in potted plants. It likes the attention that potted plants receive. So, one weed I don't like, I'll talk about this weed, but this is primarily about, I just knocked the leaf off of that. Poke it in here and see if we can't get it to root. This guy right here, he is awful. Let me pull him out, show him to you. The reason why he is so awful, if you look underneath the leaves, they say there is a seed underneath each and every leaf there is. And yeah, I was using a fork to pull these out, to kind of yank them out, and I sort of made it worse. But anyhow, this is a weed that you don't want. But artillery plant, it has several other names too. And like I said, this one is a very good example. The pretty pink flowers, they're almost speckled against the leaves, and this, I believe it's a Mission to Mars man gave. No, it's redwing man gave. Anyhow, do you have any weeds that you let grow? Another weed I'll let grow in the yard is clover, and as a matter of fact, I deliberately plant that one also because I think it's a useful weed. Anyhow, so yeah, I was just curious if anybody else was deliberately growing the artillery plant, and I know it has some other names that I cannot pronounce, so I'm not even gonna try. Anyhow, I hope you're not getting too hot doing your weeding this summer, and may all your good things grow. Glad that you stopped by, and hope to see you again. Grow wild, but Sherry's plants. Bye now.